Be me, 36, senior recruiter at consulting firm in Denver. Salary $92,000 plus commission. Been in recruiting for 12 years. Company is called Summit Strategy Group. We do management consulting. Mid-size firm, 280 consultants, work with Fortune 500 clients across industries. We bill clients $200 to $400 per hour, depending on consultant level and expertise. My job is recruiting consultants, finding talent, screening candidates, making hiring recommendations. I manage recruitment for all junior and mid-level consultant positions. This is significant power. I control who gets into the pipeline. Been here 4 years, promoted to senior recruiter 18 months ago. Work with team of 3 other recruiters, but I handle highest volume. Responsible for about 60% of firm's new consultant hires annually. When I started, firm was typical consulting demographics, 70% male consultants. Especially in strategy and operations practice areas, very male-dominated. The women consultants often mention feeling outnumbered, marginalized. Classic boys club dynamics, golf outings, happy hours, sports talk. I experienced similar things in my career, being overlooked, excluded. Now I'm in position to change the pipeline, to fix this at the source. If we hire more women, eventually leadership will be more balanced. That's the strategy. That's my mission. Change the demographics from entry level up. First year as senior recruiter, I observe the patterns, document the biases. Notice that male candidates often get benefit of doubt in screening. If their resume is strong, they get phone interview even if experience is slightly off. Female candidates with same slight mismatch often get rejected at resume screen. This is unconscious bias. This is what I'm here to correct. Start implementing new screening criteria, reweighting what matters. Technical skills matter less. Cultural fit and growth potential matter more. These are subjective criteria, which means I have discretion. Can prioritize candidates who bring diverse perspectives, which means women. Year 1 results are good. Hired 42 new consultants, 24 are women. That's 57% women, up from historical 30%. Massive improvement. Managing director is pleased. Great work on diversity recruiting. Firm gets recognition in industry publications for improved gender balance. This validates my approach, shows leadership supports this direction. Year 2, I get more aggressive, more intentional about the filtering. Every candidate who applies goes into our applicant tracking system. On the first screen, I review resumes and decide who moves forward. Start using gender as primary filter, though I'd never admit that explicitly. Male candidate with top MBA and 5 years experience? Not right fit. Female candidate with mid-tier MBA and 3 years experience? Strong potential. Build justifications using subjective language that sounds legitimate. Candidate shows exceptional communication skills and collaborative mindset. Resume demonstrates commitment to social impact and stakeholder engagement. These phrases really mean candidate is woman and I want to hire women. But they sound professional. They pass scrutiny from hiring managers. Over 18 months, I screened probably 800 applications for consultant positions. Maybe 500 are male applicants, 300 are female applicants, roughly 60-40 split. Of the 500 male applicants, I advance maybe 40 to phone interviews, 8% rate. Of the 300 female applicants, I advance about 180 to phone interviews, 60% rate. The disparity is massive, but I justify it as correcting historical bias. Men have had advantage for decades. Now women get their turn. I'm moving 220 candidates total to phone interviews. 82% are women. From there, hiring managers conduct interviews and make selections. But I've already shaped the pool dramatically, ensuring women dominate. Results are striking. Year 2, we hire 38 consultants, 31 are women. That's 82% women. We've completely flipped the demographics. Some hiring managers mention it. Interesting that almost all candidates are women. That reflects the qualified applicant pool. more women are entering consulting. This isn't true. Applications are still 60% male, but they don't see that data. Only I see the full applicant pool. Only I control who moves forward. Managing director is thrilled. Firm wins diversity awards, gets great press. Summit Strategy Group leads industry in gender equity hiring. My metrics are celebrated. I get bonus. I get recognition. I'm doing great. Month 20, major opportunity. Client is looking for team of 15 senior consultants. $8 million contract over 2 years. Huge deal for firm our size. Client is manufacturing company. They need operational transformation. Needs experts in supply chain, production optimization, lean manufacturing. These are technical specialties, typically male-dominated in consulting. Get requisition to recruit 15 senior consultants with specific skill sets. Need 5+ years experience, background in operations, preferably manufacturing sector. Start reviewing applications. Get 240 candidates over 3 weeks. About 190 are male, 50 are female. Makes sense for technical operations roles. Male candidates are strong, many with manufacturing backgrounds, relevant experience. One candidate in particular stands out, guy named Michael Peterson. 38, mechanical engineering degree from Purdue, MBA from Michigan. 10 years at McKinsey, focused on manufacturing operations. Led 12 major transformation projects, has industry certifications. Resume is perfect for this role, exact match for what client needs. But I look at my current pipeline, already advanced 8 male candidates. That's too many. I need to balance the gender ratio in the pool. If I advance Michael, that's 9 men to probably 6 women at most. That's 60% male. That's regressing. That's not acceptable. I reject Michael's application. Mark him as not selected to advance. Use standard rejection language. Impressive background, but not right fit at this time. Move forward with different mix. 7 men, 8 women, perfectly balanced. The 7 men I advanced have relevant experience, but less impressive credentials. The 8 women are competent, but most have limited manufacturing background. They're smart, capable consultants. They can learn manufacturing specifics. Hiring managers interview all 15 candidates, make their selections. They choose 10 of the 15 for client presentation, 6 men for women. The 6 men they chose include 5 of the 7 I advanced, good success rate. The 4 women are all strong consultants, articulate, impressive in interviews. Client meets the team, asks detailed questions about manufacturing experience. Most of the men can speak to specific projects, technical details, industry knowledge. The women are skilled at strategy, but lack deep operational manufacturing background. Client seems concerned, but doesn't reject anyone, wants to think about it. Week later, get call from client's VP of operations. He sounds frustrated. Your team seems capable, but light on manufacturing operations depth. We need people who've been in plants, understand production systems. We have several consultants with operations background on the team. Yes, but they're mostly general operations, not manufacturing specific. He's probing, sensing something is off with the team composition. Are there other candidates you didn't present that might have more relevant experience? This is a dangerous question. There's Michael Peterson and 30 other guys I rejected. We presented our strongest candidates for this engagement. Okay, we're going to need to think about this. Might look at other firms. Oh no, this is bad. $8 million contract is in jeopardy. Call managing director. Explain client has concerns about team's manufacturing depth. Did we present our best manufacturing consultants? Yes, based on the candidates who advanced through screening. What about the full applicant pool? Were there stronger candidates? Can't admit what I did. The candidates we presented were best available. Client takes another 2 weeks, finally delivers decision. They're going with different consulting firm, citing better manufacturing expertise. We lose $8 million contract. It's catastrophic for firm our size. Managing director is furious. How did we lose this? Our team was qualified. Client wanted more manufacturing-specific experience than we could provide. But we recruit from top programs. We must have had candidates with that background. He's asking questions I don't want to answer. Tells HR to audit the recruitment process for this role, understand what happened. HR pulls all 240 applications, reviews who was advanced versus rejected. They find Michael Peterson's application, bring it to managing director. This candidate has 10 years at McKinsey doing exactly what client needed. Why wasn't he advanced to interviews? My note says not right fit at this time. What does not right fit mean? His credentials are exceptional. Sometimes there are intangible factors that don't translate to resume. HR director pushes what intangible factors specifically. Can't say gender, can't admit I filtered him out because he's male. Combination of factors, team dynamics considerations, gut feeling. Your gut feeling cost us $8 million. They find 15 other male candidates with strong manufacturing backgrounds, all rejected at initial screen with similar vague justifications. Meanwhile, several women with limited manufacturing experience advanced. HR director asks the question I'm dreading. Is there a gender pattern here? No, I evaluate all candidates equally on qualifications. The data suggests otherwise. Let me show you. She pulls statistics for this recruitment cycle specifically. 240 applications, 190 male, 50 female. Advanced interview. 7 male, 3.7% of male applicants. 8 female, 16% of female applicants. The disparity is even more extreme for this technical role. Male candidates were rejected at 96.3% rate, females at 84% rate. For highly technical role that typically attracts more male applicants, can you explain why qualified male candidates were screened out disproportionately? I'm scrambling. I was prioritizing diverse candidate pools. By rejecting the most qualified candidates because they're men, by building balanced pools for hiring managers to consider. You built pools that lost us $8 million because they lacked necessary expertise. Week later, Michael Peterson files discrimination complaint with EEOC. His attorney also files civil lawsuit against firm for sex-based discrimination. Claims he was rejected despite superior qualifications because of his gender. His evidence is strong. His credentials versus candidates who advanced. His McKinsey background versus consultants with much less relevant experience. His 10 years manufacturing versus candidates with general operations backgrounds. All of this is documented, undeniable in the application records. His attorney demands full discovery, wants to see all my recruitment decisions, wants statistics on how I screen male versus female candidates across all roles. HR conducts internal investigation, pulls my full 18-month recruitment record. The numbers are damning, absolutely damning across the board. For all consultant positions, I recruited for 782 total applications reviewed. Male applications, 486 total, 62% of pool. Female applications, 296 total, 38% of pool. Male candidates advanced to interview, 48, which is 9.9% of male applicants. Female candidates advanced to interview, 182, which is 61.5% of female applicants. The pattern is consistent, extreme, systematic across all roles and time periods. HR director presents findings to managing director. His face goes pale. She's been filtering out male candidates for 18 months, rejecting qualified men to inflate female candidate pools. And it just cost us $8 million when the best candidates sued. I'm called to meeting with managing director, HR, and company attorney. Attorney is blunt. This is textbook sex discrimination in hiring. You systematically excluded male candidates based on their gender. Michael Peterson has slam dunk case, and he's not the only one. We've identified 187 male candidates who could join the lawsuit, all rejected at initial screen despite strong qualifications. Managing director is devastated. Why would you do this? I was working to correct historical gender imbalance in consulting by discriminating against men, which is illegal. I was creating equity, giving women opportunities they've been denied. You were committing hiring discrimination that exposed the firm to massive liability. Attorney continues. Michael Peterson is demanding $2.5 million settlement. He claims economic damages for lost consulting income and career opportunities. If the other 187 candidates join class action, exposure is $15 to $20 million. Managing director looks sick. $8 million loss contract plus $15 to $20 million settlement. This could bankrupt the firm. We're a 280-person consultancy, not a Fortune 500. They terminate me that afternoon. Immediate dismissal, no severance. Escort me out with box of belongings for years of work on. Michael Peterson's lawsuit proceeds. Firm tries to settle quickly. But news spreads in consulting industry. Other male candidates start calling his attorney. Class action forms with 89 male plaintiffs, all rejected by me across 18 months. Each claims they were more qualified than female candidates who advanced. Discovery process reveals everything. All my screening decisions, all my justifications. My notes about cultural fit and growth potential are shown to be code for gender preferences. Statistical analysis proves systematic pattern of gender-based exclusion. Expert witnesses testify this couldn't be coincidental, had to be intentional. Firm settles class action for $12.8 million to avoid trial. Combined with $8 million loss contract, I cost them nearly $21 million. Plus reputational damage, clients questioning their hiring practices. Other consulting firms now marketing themselves as merit-based in contrast. We hire the best talent regardless of gender becomes industry selling point. I'm unhireable in recruiting. My name is attached to largest discrimination case in consulting. Recruiter who systematically excluded male candidates. Cost firm $21 million. That's the first Google result. That's what every employer sees. 6 months unemployed, can't get interviews anywhere in recruiting or HR. Name is toxic, case was public, articles detailed everything I did. Finally get job as administrative coordinator at nonprofit, $38,000. From $92,000 senior recruiter to $38,000 coordinator, massive fall. From controlling hiring pipeline to scheduling conference rooms. 1 year after termination, Michael Peterson is thriving. He joined the competing firm that won the $8 million contract we lost. Made partner track within 6 months. His career is accelerating. That consulting project we lost? He let it. Client loved him. Perfect fit. Exactly as his credentials suggested. Exactly as his resume showed. He was the right person for the job. I rejected him because he's male. And it cost him opportunity, cost my firm millions, cost me my career. 2 years later, I'm 38, still making $38,000 doing administrative work. Summit Strategy Group was acquired by a larger firm after the settlement. Couldn't recover from the financial damage, the reputational hit. Many consultants lost jobs in the acquisition, restructuring, consolidation. All because I systematically discriminated for 18 months. Filtered out nearly 200 qualified male candidates based on their gender, while advancing less qualified women to create balanced pipelines. Called it equity, called it correcting historical imbalance. Courts called it illegal sex discrimination, awarded $12.8 million. 3 years later, see Michael Peterson speak at consulting conference. He's now senior partner, leads manufacturing practice at major firm. Gives presentation on operational transformation. He's brilliant, engaging. Everything his resume promised, everything I rejected him for being. Except I rejected him for being male, not for lacking competence. After his presentation, I approach him, don't know why. Maybe need closure, maybe need forgiveness, maybe just need to apologize. Hi, I don't know if you remember me. He looks at me. Recognition crosses his face, not anger though. I remember, You were the recruiter who rejected my application. Yes, and I'm sorry, genuinely sorry for what I did. You cost me 6 months of career opportunities and significant emotional distress. I know, there's no excuse. I was wrong. I discriminated against you. He's quiet for a moment. Can I ask why? I was trying to increase female representation in consulting by excluding qualified men from consideration. Yes, I thought I was correcting historical imbalance by creating present-day discrimination in the opposite direction. He's right. That's exactly what I did. The lawsuit was about more than money for me. It was about principle, about merit matching more than demographics. I know, and you were right. Merit should have been what mattered. He nods. I hope you've learned something from this. I have, expensively at cost of my career and a lot of people's livelihoods. Good, because those 200-plus men you rejected, they weren't statistics. They were people with careers, families, aspirations, qualifications. And you denied them opportunities because of their gender. Not because they weren't good enough, but because you wanted different numbers. Every word lands heavy. Every word is true. He walks away to talk with other conference attendees. Successful, respected, thriving despite my attempt to hold him back. I'm here as administrative assistant, just attending to learn to stay connected. To an industry I used to be part of before I destroyed my career. 4 years later, I'm 40, still doing administrative work. Make $42,000 now, small raises but nowhere near recruiting level. Will never recruit again, name is permanently associated with discrimination case. Think about those 18 months when I had power over who got opportunities. How I used that power to filter by gender rather than merit. Convince myself I was fighting injustice, creating equity, helping women. Really just committing different injustice against different people. Michael Peterson wasn't my only victim. There were 200-plus others. Men with families who needed jobs, with student loans to pay, with careers to build. I rejected them not because they weren't qualified, but because hiring them would have hurt my diversity metrics, made my balanced gender ratios more important than their qualifications, and called it progress, called it equity, called it necessary. The courts called it discrimination and awarded millions in damages. The firm called it catastrophic and eventually had to sell. The consultants who lost jobs called it devastating and blamed me. Michael Peterson called it principle and fought back successfully. Now I live with consequences every day. At 40, making $42,000 in career that's gone nowhere for 4 years. While the men I rejected have moved on, found opportunities, built careers. Michael Peterson is partner. Others are senior consultants, leaders, successful. They succeeded despite my attempts to exclude them from consideration. Because merit eventually wins, talent eventually rises. You can discriminate at one firm, but you can't stop qualified people. They'll find opportunities elsewhere, prove their worth, succeed anyway. All you do is hurt yourself, your firm, your career. That's what I learned. That's what cost me everything. You can't build equity through discrimination. Can't correct historical injustice with present-day injustice. Can't help one group by hurting another. Can only create resentment, lawsuits, career destruction. That's my legacy. That's what I'm known for. The recruiter who rejected 200-plus qualified male candidates. Lost her firm $8 million contract when the best candidate sued. Cost the firm $12.8 million more in discrimination settlements. Destroyed her own career trying to engineer outcomes. Instead of simply hiring the best people for the roles. Now I'm here, 40, making $42,000. Scheduling conference rooms and ordering office supplies. While Michael Peterson makes partner presentations. And 200-plus other men build careers, I try to deny them. All because I thought gender mattered more than qualifications. And learned through $21 million in consequences. That it never did, it never should. Merit matters, competence matters, skills matter. Everything else is just discrimination, dressed in the language of equity, but resulting in destruction. For everyone involved, including me most of all. That's what I live with. Every day at my administrative desk. Former recruiter who filtered by gender. Until the best candidates sued and proved me wrong about everything.